Okay, now to something happier. From achievement to alignment. Invitation to rethink your success. We live in a world that literally worships achievement, accolades, performance, growth curves, whatnot. It is built into how we measure value, sometimes even our own. It's funny, isn't it? But let me ask you something. Have you ever reached a goal, celebrated it, and felt strangely empty the next day when the applaud fades and your inbox fills again with 1 million emails and you're left wondering, was this really success or just motion through the tranquilized obviousness of life? I have sat with CEOs, entrepreneurs, spiritual teachers, presidents of countries, people with vast influence who have confessed to me a quiet hollowness they face once the applause fades. This isn't failure. This actually is evolution. You see, the thing is, we live in a world that celebrates performance and achievement. We are trained to pursue success, growth, productivity, whatever those words mean. But no one really teaches us to pause and ask, success? But by whose definition? I remember one time I was negotiating a major deal, a transaction that would have elevated everything in my life. More wealth, more prestige, more influence. And yet something felt off. Not because I was afraid or didn't want it, but because the voice inside me whispered, Leo, you do not need this anymore. And I quietly walked away. Not in loss, but in alignment to my inner voice. And that became one of the realest milestones of my life. You see, achievement is what you chase, and alignment is what you become. Simply said, quoting what my mentor once told me, achievement feeds your ego, but it does not feed your soul, which actually comes from alignment and purpose. This is where alignment enters. Alignment is not about doing more. It's about doing what's true all the way down to your soul. It is when your outer action flows from your inner clarity, not for validation of the world, but for being in integrity with who you truly are and what your values and beliefs are. The Bhagavad Gita captures it beautifully. Karmanya vadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Translated, it means you have a right to action, but not to fruits thereof. This is in Vedas called the spirit of Karma Yoga, the art of acting without clinging to outcomes, to let go of striving and return to sincerity, to act with presence, not pressure, to serve, not strive, to express the soul, not just simply attempt to impress the world. And by the way, everything that I'm saying is not just spiritual poetry. Hardcore neuroscience agrees. Studies show that when we act in alignment with our values and sense of purpose, it activates the brain regions associated with emotional regulation, mental clarity, and sustained well-being, like the prefrontal cortex and the ventral striatum. Meaning creates longevity in joy. You're not just happy for a moment. You become stable and abide in this happiness as a way of life. As we mature into this feeling, our brain literally shifts. The thrill of dopamine-driven achievement and validation lessens. And the hunger for coherence, contribution, service, and care increases. We want to feel whole, not just impressive. So what is this alignment then? Alignment is not a peak. Alignment is a rhythm. It's when your actions reflect your values, when your decisions flow from your inner clarity, not external pressure, when your outer success no longer comes at the cost of your inner peace. It feels like a quiet yes that comes from your heart, a breath of relief and joy, and a life that truly fits. Now, the million-dollar question is, how do you know if you're aligned? You feel it. There is a sense of coherence, of congruence between your words and your walk and action, between what you say matters and how you actually live. You feel more joy, not more impressive. You feel grounded, not just driven. True success is not measured in how much you have done, but in how much of it was authentically you, the true version that you love and hold dear in your heart. Now, at this point, let me ask you, are you achieving or aligning? How much of what you do is truly you? Are you chasing goals that are not even yours anymore? Whom are you pleasing? Whose validation are you seeking? What would happen if you define success as being more, not doing more? When you look back at your life, the most meaningful chapters, I promise you, won't be the most productive ones. They will be the ones where you felt most alive, most honest, most whole, most self expressed. So maybe the next milestone isn't out there. True success maybe is within you, waiting for you to return. It's about what you no longer have to chase. When your inner knowing and your outer action begin to move together, when you stop trying to prove and actually start trying to live your truth, you realize you were never seeking success. You were seeking yourself. And from that piece of inner coherence, even the smallest act becomes sacred and liberating. And when you're aligned with every breath, you have that experience that life is good.